Replace algorithm with audience and you will succeed.
What gives you so much confidence that every video you make can be a winner?
It's all about storytelling. I believe that social media growth is completely skill and is not luck. YouTube is the best platform from content creators. $40,000 in 2 days.
Today, I'm joined by Jenny Hoyos, the veritable master of YouTube Shorts. Over the past 2 years, Jenny has amassed over 980 million YouTube views, which is just insane, as well as has attracted millions of subscribers and made quite a splash on TikTok and Instagram as well. And as if that wasn't impressive enough, Jenny's done all this at just 18 years old. So today, Jenny and I are going to decode YouTube Shorts for you, breaking down exactly how to pick the perfect topics.
You kind of just have to take inspiration from anywhere and everywhere.
Design mesmerizing content.
Yeah, I would say a good short is one that has a really strong hook that not only stops your scroll, but also gets you to watch till the end of the video.
Film, edit, and post short form videos on YouTube.
Majority of the shorts, it takes no more than an hour.
Jenny has claimed she can make anything go viral.
I don't ask if it'll go viral. I can figure out how to make it viral.
And I think she has a track record that backs this up. So let's look at how you can win with YouTube Shorts as well. Jenny Hoyos, it is such an honor to get to sit down with you today.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited to be on here. Thank you for having me.
So it's kind of the famed Jenny Hoyos quote at this point. I think you've claimed that if an idea is good enough, you can make anything go viral. So what's your strategy on that? What gives you so much confidence that every video you make can be a winner?
I believe that social media growth is completely skill and is not luck. So if you have a good idea and you're a good storyteller, you theoretically should be able to get views, because at the end of the day, people say, oh, you got to get lucky by the algorithm, but it's actually the audience. Replace algorithm with audience and you will succeed. I know it's such a cliche thing to say, but it's true. I'd say the most important thing is just focusing on storytelling. And if you can master storytelling, you can blow up and make anything viral, because at the end of the day, people love stories. People have been telling stories for years now, and that's never going to change. So you can make anything viral as long as you know how to tell a good story.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think so often people get caught up in trying to game the algorithm, and they think that they need to somehow figure out how to trick the algorithm into showing their content, or figure out how the algorithm works so they can hack it or something like that. So I really want to get into story with you today and talk about how to put together a good story, especially in the span of only 30 seconds or so. But before we get into all of that, I would love to know kind of your reason why YouTube Shorts. Out of all the platforms you could have chosen, and there are obviously a lot of them, why did you settle on YouTube Shorts as the place to put your stamp?
Yeah, totally. So growing up, my childhood dream was to become a YouTuber. And I know it's so cliche, but I really wanted a play button. And that's actually why I got started on YouTube. But now that I've accomplished that, why am I still creating content focused on YouTube Shorts? Well, that's because I believe that YouTube is the best social media platform, or best platform from content creators, in my opinion. The reason I say that is because, one, YouTube Shorts has the best monetization, has the best support team, and it has more data available to view and analyze compared to any other platform. So I know for a fact, and I could feel it as a creator, that YouTube is setting me up for success and longevity, unlike other platforms that hide these analytics or don't really feel like they're there for the creators, but there for the money.
Oh yeah, totally. I really couldn't agree more. That's why I have chosen also to primarily build my brand on YouTube. Okay, so I have 6 big topics that I want to get into today. Choosing video topics, scripting, filming, editing, posting, and continually improving. But before we get into any of those details, let's zoom out for a moment and talk about the big picture. Big picture, what would you say makes a good short?
Yeah, it's a very broad question, but I would say a good short is one that resonates with your audience. Of course, everyone has different viewing behaviors. That's why we're all in different niches. But to me, I would say a good short is one that has a really strong hook that not only stops your scroll, but also gets you to watch till the end of the video, followed by having continuous progression in the sense that every line must progress the video. The video should always be going up, and the video is always progressing. And you do that by getting straight to the point and giving the viewer that value proposition that they are going to get by the end of this video.
So much to unpack there. Let's move on to my first big topic, which is choosing short video topics. What does your strategy look like on this? How do you come up with ideas, and then how do you decide which one to actually make into a video?
So I come up with video ideas everywhere. You kind of just have to like take inspiration from anywhere and everywhere. So for one, I would look at trending topics that's trending on YouTube, Google Trends, and then I'll also use AI, describe what your channel is, your values, your goals, your mission statement, and then tell it to come up with video ideas. And then also just random things that happen in my life. I try to be my avatar, and I recommend that you try to be your avatar as well, or know your avatar and think like what happens in the daily life of your avatar and make a video around that. I feel like that's one of the best ways to come up with ideas. But now you're probably going to have like hundreds of ideas. Which ones do you pick? Well, for me, my order of selection is 1, am I passionate about the idea? And if I am, it goes next to the next filter. Does it fit my channel branding? So for example, I make videos on saving or making money. It would not fit my channel branding if I did a tutorial on how to cut my dog's hair, right? So make sure it fits your channel branding. And 3, that it actually resonates with your audience and your avatar. And that's the way I like to think about it. And from there, I will also send it to friends, family, my team, to like get some extra thoughts.
How are you differentiating between that second and third filter? The second one being like, does it fit within your topics? And the third one was, would it resonate with your audience? Talk me through that last question a little bit more.
Okay, great. Yeah. So for example, I've had this idea where I made money doing Uber Eats, and that would fit my channel branding because I do side hustles making money content. However, my specific avatar is actually a middle schooler, meaning they cannot drive and they cannot do Uber Eats. My avatar is that kid in school who's selling candy, not the kid that's selling things on Uber Eats. So it fits the channel branding, but does not resonate with the avatar.
I see. So it needs to fit both topic-wise and then also fit that avatar.
Totally.
Now, if you're serious about YouTube Shorts, then you are definitely going to want to hear about the sponsor for today's video. Because did you know that you can now create fully edited videos with ChatGPT? Yeah, that's right. Just like you can use AI to create written content, you can now use AI to create video content. And this is all possible thanks to the new tool from NVIDIA called Video AI, which is now available in the ChatGPT store. All you need to do is type in the idea for a video, and Video AI will create a ready-to-publish video for you, complete with an engaging script, background music, relevant footage, a voiceover, and subtitles. For example, you could tell it to create a 3-minute YouTube video about the differences between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, and how switching over to a growth mindset can make you successful. And then in just a few seconds, Video AI will have created a fully edited, ready-to-publish video for you based on your prompt. But it doesn't stop there, because you can then edit the video by just typing in prompts and asking Video AI to make changes to the video that it's created for you. So for example, you could ask it to change the narrator to a male narrator with a British accent. Or you could ask it to add subtitles to the video, or to change the intro and start with a joke instead, or to add a call to action to the end of the video asking viewers to subscribe for more. You can access Video AI in the GPT store right now and take it for a spin for yourself by going to gillianperkins.com/videoai. Again, just head to gillianperkins.com/videoai to start using the tool for free. Then, if you like what you see and you want to start publishing the videos on your YouTube channel, then you can upgrade to their paid plan for just $20 to remove the watermark. Now, while you go check that out, keep on listening to my interview with Jenny Hoyos.
So what would you say are some mistakes that you've seen people make when trying to come up with ideas for shorts? Is there anything that kind of sticks out to you?
Not brainstorming enough. Sometimes you'll think you have a good idea, but it's only good because it's the only one that you're looking at. So you want to have multiple good ideas to pick from, because if an idea stands out from all the good ones, then that's how you know it's a great idea. So simply just brainstorm a bunch.
Have you been listening to me, Jenny? Because I say that all the time, too. That's awesome.
Oh, really?
I always
That's
tell
crazy.
people, like, especially even before you start your channel, that I challenge them to come up with at least 50 video ideas in their niche, to have like a big bank of content ideas to start with, so that, like you were saying, like you can kind of pick like the best instead of just like going with the first idea.
Yes, exactly. I love that. I have a list of 1,000 ideas.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
crazy.
amazing. That's probably more than I've heard anyone else say that they have.
Well, at one point I was basically about like 10 ideas every day, and like eventually it adds up.
Let's shift a little bit to talking about like schedule of shorts. Do you think that there is any science to how frequently you post shorts if you want to grow?
I don't think that there is a special science. As long as you're making good videos, you will get views. But I recommend at least once a week. So you have like, you want to have data to pull from, you know? If you're posting once a month, you're not going to have like analytics or data or comments to read to make sure that you're on the right track, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And also going back to like, it's really the people, not the algorithm. If you only make one short a month, that's not going to be frequently enough for people to get to know you at all and even remember you.
Yes, exactly. Looking at my analytics, like I have my average view per viewer is like 3 to 6, and like they're not even subscribed. So the fact that like they see me like 6 times and they still haven't subscribed shows that like they need like to see a lot of shorts to like build that deeper relationship.
Ooh, that brings up something I'm curious about. As a primarily shorts creator, I know you make long form videos now too, but you know, you got most of your views from shorts. What does your analytics look like in terms of your percentage of views from subscribers versus non-subscribers?
It's nearly like all non-subscribers. On my channel, I have 1 billion views, but only 1 million subscribers. Well, not only that's a lot, but you know what I mean. It's like 0.1% is what I'm saying. And I have like 10 million returning viewers per month, and that shows that I am reaching the same avatar and they are actually returning. And that's what matters much more to me, because I know eventually they will subscribe. And subscribers is just a vanity number as well. So
it is. That's
yeah.
So true. Yeah. What do you think the most important metric when it comes to shorts getting recommended is? So is it like the fact that someone watches it all the way through? If they watch it multiple times, is there any other factors that are the most important, you think?
There's the top 3. There's my top 3, and I want to say the 3. So number 1 is retention. Well, overall, I just want to emphasize viewer satisfaction is the most important thing. The algorithm's looking for viewer satisfaction. So, you know, just because you get a specific percentage or number doesn't mean the video is going to go viral. You want to target viewer satisfaction, but viewer satisfaction can be found in retention, rewatchability, which is basically average views per viewer on that short, as well as subscribability. That's what I believe.
So you think those are the 3 primary indicators that the viewer was satisfied?
I'd say so. Those are the 3 primary indicators. Based on the data that we've done, we put it like onto a bunch of like Excel sheets and formulas, and we've even done a Pearson correlation to each individual thing, so that we can see these variables, and we've even like tried to separate the variables, and that from what we found, we have the best Pearson correlation with those specific metrics.
Well, you answered my next question before I even got to it, which was like, how have you determined that? Is it just like a feeling you have? But you know, you've done the research on at least your videos. Have you analyzed any other channels' videos as well?
Yeah, so I used to analyze a bunch of other people's videos by just going onto their channel and, you know, just watching their videos using AI to dissect it as well to help me. But nowadays, I actually I make friends, I analyze their videos, and ask for their retention graphs and their data.
I love how savvy that is. I have totally done what you're talking about too, running other people's videos through AI. I'm trying to think what the tool that I use to do that is called. Do you remember what the tool you were using to do that was?
I use harpa.ai.
So basically the idea here, just for everyone listening, is that at least this is what I would do. I would take the video, and there are tools that can basically like watch the video for you, and then they can transcribe the video and they can break it down into chapters for like time stamping. And so then I could go through and I could look and I could see how other people's videos were structured and what different topics they covered in their videos and things like that. Was there anything else that you were looking for, Jenny, when you did that?
Analyzing comments. So most importantly, like I would have the AI analyze the comments and then let me know, like, if I was to recreate this video based on the comments, what would have made this video better? And I think that's huge because then you learn like what you should do.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's super clever. Okay. Let's move on to talking about how you actually script your shorts. You mentioned it starts out with a good hook. Is that where you start when you are thinking about scripting?
It always starts with a hook. So I try to think of the best hook, and sometimes you might have to change the idea just because like the hook matters so much more. So when I think of the hook, I try to stop their scroll by like having like a power word in the beginning. So I want to start with like free or save money. So when I'm scripting, that's the first thing. I make sure the first word is going to get value. And if it's not the first, one of the first words. And then also I try to think within the hook, how can I make the viewer know what they can expect by the end of the video? So one of my favorite hooks is, what does $10 get you in Miami? So not only does it tell you what the video is, what does $10 get you in Miami, it also tells you that the video ends when I spend $10. So you have a perfect expectation of the video.
How long do you think a hook should be, or how long do you typically go for? And how did you settle on that length?
No more than 3 seconds. So the most important thing is flow. There's no magic number.
I think like roughly 3 seconds gives a really good idea. Like it kind of gives an example of the sort of length we're going for. Like, are we going for 3 seconds or are we going for 10 seconds? We're going for 3 seconds. But basically it sounds like it needs to be like one short sentence. Would you say that's accurate?
One short sentence that is still enough to hook the viewer. Sometimes people would like make a really short hook and it's like, I don't even understand what the video is about. Just make sure the viewer has a clear expectation. As long as it takes to give them a clear expectation, basically.
And so I know hooks are really important, so I want to spend just another minute or so here. You gave an example of what you consider to be a really good hook. What does $10 get you in Miami? For someone who's right now just like thinking, but wait, how do I write a hook? Where do I start? Sort of thing. Could you give them any more guidance? Either a few more examples, or do you have any like go-to formulas you use or anything like that?
My number one go-to formula is questions. When you ask a question, the viewer knows that they're going to get something by the end of the video, but then you're also making them think about something and now they're curious. It's like questions are the best, in my opinion. So try to think of, can you ask a question? And if you can't, try to think of, how could I put power words in the beginning? So like I said, free, save money, but also credibility sometimes helps. If you say a statement, but then also say like, and learn from me as a therapist or as a billionaire, or, you know, showing some sort of credibility. Every video I write at least 10 hooks. And then I also send it to my data analyst / strategist, who's actually like doing all these data things and actually knows what is statistically working.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a side tangent then, but I'm curious, your relationship with your data analyst or strategist, what is that like? How did that start? How did you find someone who is like qualified enough to be able to help you at this level?
Basically, he started editing my videos about 6 months ago, and he ended up becoming passionate about like analytics and data. And on his free time, he was just like, oh, I'm just gonna like export your data and like just like, you know, analyze the analytics, because he was just naturally curious. And I think that's the key thing, just finding someone who's really passionate about what they do. And, you know, someone who's passionate always beats someone like who isn't, right?
Yeah, that's cool. I love how it just like naturally grew, right? It wasn't like something you tried to force. Okay, let's move along and talk about how you film your shorts. So broad strokes, do you film them in the order that people are going to watch them? Like, do you film them chronologically? What does that look like?
Yep, I film chronologically, but sometimes we will rearrange the story just like so it could be like funnier or make more sense. But yeah, like usually in my videos, I'm showing a journey and character development. And if we're messing around too much and like rearranging and not doing things in order, then there's no character development and you don't see character growth. It's like all getting rearranged. But for storytelling type content, I'd say it does need to be in chronological order, which is why I do that.
And how long does it take you to film a short typically?
It depends on the short, but you know, majority of the shorts, it takes no more than an hour. You know, like some of my longer ones can take up to like 3 hours. I like to film my shorts like long forms, is the way I like to explain it.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, I mean in so many ways. I only make a short if I think it can go viral on long form. Because if it can go viral as a 10-minute video, imagine how viral it would be as a 30-second video. Because it shows how much effort you went. Like people would comment and be like, you realize she just like did like this whole thing just for a 30-second video? And like my family says that too. They're like, why are you doing like this whole production or like this whole thing for it to just be a 30-second video.
Is there any other way in which you film your short videos like a long form video?
Honestly, lots of talking. I lose my voice by the end of it, and it almost feels like I filmed a long form, and then it ends up being a 30-second video.
So you just like end up cutting down a whole lot. Who ends up making the editing decisions? You or your editor?
My video editor. First year and a half of my channel, I edited them myself, but I ended up like hiring him because, you know, of course I wanted to scale, and he's just a storyteller. I think that's a big tip. If someone's gonna hire an editor, don't hire a video editor, hire a storyteller.
How did you find a storyteller?
We became friends in Creator Now. There's lots of talented storytellers in Creator Now, which is like a program for like people who want to learn like YouTube. Like, so there's a lot of creators, but also a lot of like script writers, editors, and oh my gosh, it's like a free promotion. But I'm just saying, like, I made a lot of friends and met a lot of people through Creator Now who've helped me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you only have worked, like you edited your videos for the first year and then you've just worked with this one editor since? And it's just been a great fit? You didn't have to try out a bunch of people or anything?
Oh gosh, I had to try out so many people. It was terrible. I've probably trialed like at least 25 people, like trialed as in like we worked together for like a week and then it didn't work out. It's very tough to find an editor. And I will say the biggest tip to finding an editor is it's so cliche. Everything I say is so cliche, but it's so true. I was looking for someone who is a great editor, incredibly talented. When you watch the video, you're like, wow, they're great. But then for some reason, you guys don't get along. They don't want to listen. The relationship is not there. They're doing it for money. They don't want to like better themselves. Like I always had like, it was always a different problem every time. Mm-hmm. So when I stopped looking for someone talented, it sounds so funny. I stopped looking for someone who was good and I started looking for people who were passionate. And the editor that I hired had little to no experience. I didn't even like the videos that like he's edited, but I saw the passion because I was friends with him and I knew like he is going to be very talented because I see the potential. And you know, here we are today. And he's I think one of the best editors on YouTube, going to win a Streamy. Like, if not next year, the year after.
And one more question about you filming your videos. How much help do you have? Do you do it all by yourself or do you have someone helping you?
Yeah, I film all the videos by myself, but I will say transparently, my parents do help a lot in the sense of like, for example, like just bouncing ideas and like preparing the shoots. Like it seems so funny. Like, yeah, maybe I'm only filming for an hour, but sometimes to set up like, you know, the area, clean the house, make sure the lighting's good, like that does take some time. So, you know, they'll be there and give a helping hand.
Yeah, that's really, really nice. I got one more question for you about editing, I guess. And that is when you were editing your own shorts, how long did it take you to edit one short typically?
About 10, 20 hours. And it takes my editor the same amount of time. So you're probably thinking like, that's ridiculous. And it is. It is a lot of time.
So once you've got your video back from your editor and it's time to post it, what are kind of the nuances that might make one short perform better than another? Is there YouTube SEO that you need to make sure you have configured properly for your short?
In my opinion, no, especially not for shorts, given that like, for one, like people aren't watching shorts by like going on search. Yeah, some people click on shorts through search, but like when people are searching things, usually they want to watch a long form. Shorts is primarily like, you know, the shorts feed, which is why SEO, like, I don't really think matters for shorts. But also the YouTube algorithm is just like really good. And like, I believe in like hashtags, good descriptions and things like that on TikTok and Instagram. But on YouTube, like their AI, their algorithm is so good that it will do that metadata like for you in the back end. You know, it's just that good, to be honest.
Yeah. I feel like that stuff matters less and less now that AI is so good that it's literally like instantly transcribing your video. It knows exactly what you're actually talking about in the videos. You did talk earlier about how if you have multiple videos, like you were saying about your cooking videos, that you would try to maybe more carefully tag them there to get viewers from one video to a new video. Is there any nuance there to how you try to configure that?
Yeah, so I love that you mentioned that, but the primary thing I focus on is, for one, having a similar format and script, because like we were talking about, AI does transcribe the videos, so it does see that, oh, this is following a very similar format, it's a very similar video. So I do it in that sense, but also I try to make the titles as similar as possible. So usually like it will have like the same words, but maybe like, let's say like episode 1, episode 2, or just like you replace it with the food item that you're making, you know, just like keeping the same title, but also not for the algorithm, but also because the viewer, they'll probably run into the video and they'll be like, oh, this is the same thing as well, if they are to run into it. But yeah, that's the primary way. And I put them all into the same playlist as well.
Let's move on to this last topic, which is learning and improving. So what are the analytics that you pay the most attention to? And then also, of those analytics, you pay attention to it, and then like, what do you do with that information?
The number one thing that I'm actively paying attention to is retention graphs. Not retention percentage, but retention graphs. Because if you look at your retention percentage, you'll be like, wow, I got 90%. Okay, next video. It's like, what do you even do with that? Versus if you have the graph, you'll see exactly where the viewers are leaving, and it actually tells you about the viewers' behaviors. So I would just like actively look at that to see where people are leaving, where people are staying, where people are rewatching. And I think you would like see tenfold the improvements than any of the other things. You know, there's this law where it's like, you want to focus on the 10x things, not the 2x. So I think the retention graph is like how you can 10x improve, and everything else is probably just going to result in 2x. So that's what I believe in.
So there's one last thing I wanted to talk with you about today, Jenny. And if you don't want to talk about this, we don't have to. But I have a feeling you might be willing to, given the topic of your whole channel is about like making and saving money. Would you mind getting into the money of shorts and how profitable it's been?
Yeah, so transparently, I make about like $5,000 to $7,000 a month on YouTube ad revenue, like from shorts. And this is on like, I believe like 60, 80,000 views a month. So it's not incredibly profitable in that sense. It's still something because I have an 11-cent RPM, but the real money is to be made on products for sure, or other streams of income. So like, for example, like I offer consulting, and that's where like my primary source of income is. And I teach others how to grow their social medias, their businesses. In a 2-day weekend teaching what I know, I made, I believe it was $40,000 in 2 days. But then there's also brand deals where you promote products, you know what I mean? So I would definitely focus on like products and other external sources because the reach is insane. The reach is incredible. And it's when you're getting like, for me, I'm averaging 10 million views per short. What brand wouldn't want to get like 10 million views? So I get the same views as the Super Bowl, but imagine a brand gets to pay like 100x less for the same views. It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you be willing to share how much your brand deals are currently going for? How much brands are currently paying you for a feature?
They have to at least be in the 5-figure range to work with me. Say that.
Again, that gives a ballpark, like, you know, for people who are just like curious, like, are we talking millions? Are we talking hundreds? Like 5 figures something, right? If someone was interested in possibly working with you, as you mentioned, you've been doing some consulting and things like that. How could they get in contact with you to find out more about that?
Yeah, so feel free to email me at team@jennyhoyos.com.
Okay, we'll try not to flood your inbox too bad, right? Well, Jenny, this has been amazing. An absolute masterclass in YouTube Shorts. Thank you so much for sharing everything with us about how to grow on YouTube Shorts. I've learned so much, and I'm sure all the listeners have as well.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so much fun.
Now, if you take action on what you learned from Jenny today, I have no doubt that you will soon be racking up the views on your YouTube channel. So let's talk about the next step, which is monetizing those views. I made a video which you can check out right here, all about the full monetization process, how many views you need, how many watch hours, and all the other monetization requirements. So if you're interested in learning how you can start making money on YouTube, then watch this video right now.